Having fled her native Morocco, then Turkey, where she faced backlash, Rahma Eslouani is now a refugee in Canada, where she lives as an out gay woman. We meet her in her favorite neighborhood in downtown Toronto.
We are in the church village. You can smell the freedom of to be part of LGBT. I'm very proud of that. I feel that I am home and I am with real family. And I'm very proud that this year is my first Pride. I'm going to celebrate it openly. I'm very happy for that.
Due to the persecution they or their loved ones face, few refugees from the LGBTQ+ community speak out publicly.
I was living in fear, constant fear to be outside, constant fear to be myself, to show up to the place where I may not be survived. I faced their violence, persecution, discrimination, and worse than that, I was imprisoned because of my sexual identity.
To help her with her asylum application, Rahma received support from the Rainbow Railroad organization.
This is a map of the world that we sometimes reference to help us kind of visualize some of the countries that we work in. This year already, we've received around 8,500 requests for help. There's 60 countries that criminalize same-sex intimacy, but there are also other countries that have high levels of community-based violence, even if there is some degree of legal protection.
Unique in Canada, the NGO is accredited by the government to sponsor asylum applications from foreigners who are persecuted in their countries because of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
How many requests have we received this year from Afghanistan?
We received so far 546 cases from Afghanistan.
Already swamped with requests from those living in conservative countries around the world, Devon and her team are now concerned about queer rights eroding much closer to home, across the border in the United States.
We have major concerns about the current landscape. Under this administration, we've seen a rollback of access to refugee support, as well as increasingly concerning anti-LGBTQI sentiment as well, and access to rights. The requests for help coming from within the country, also of American citizens, has increased significantly.
The NGO says that in June 2025, requests for assistance from the US increased tenfold from the previous year. Canada had already seen pregnant women crossing the border to have abortions following a US Supreme Court decision reducing their rights, but now the LGBTQ+ community is also facing increased hardship in certain US states.
Pride, for us, it is a protest. It is a reminder that there are many to us LGBTQ individuals across the globe that cannot celebrate.
Kojo Modeste is the director of Toronto's Pride Festival, one of the biggest in the world. It has a budget of $5 million, two-thirds of which is funded by private sponsors. Some of its biggest US donors, including tech giant Google, withdrew their support for the festival this year.
It sends a message that they were not genuine. It sends a message that they were not in this because they cared about the 2S LGBTQ community, that they cared about diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, every year you lose 1 or 2 sponsors, but we were not expecting that big of a hit this year.
How excited are you to see these pictures?
I'm so excited.
A few miles from downtown Toronto, Professor Ahmed Hamila is opening a photo exhibition on refugees and asylum seekers in Canada.
I felt the need of giving this representation of the person that's confident, that's very comfortable with who they are, and that's not playing the victim, etc.
He says that while Canada remains a refuge for asylum seekers, the country is being increasingly influenced by far-right ideology coming out of the United States.
This rise in reactionary discourse is not unique to the United States. These are networks that are organized around the world. We see it in several countries in Europe, but we also see it in Canada. A striking example of this are the anti-trans marches that took place last year in several cities in Canada. So these movements are not just limited to the U.S.
In 2024, the NGO Rainbow Railroad received more than 13,000 requests for assistance from around the world. 2,800 of those cases came from the US. This year, for the first time, some Canadian immigration lawyers have agreed to defend the asylum claims of transgender American citizens on the grounds of state persecution.